Here's the dirty little secret no one told me. Losing over 100 pounds on GLP-1s wasn't hard. And that truth makes some people really uncomfortable. But it changed everything for me. Hello, I'm Christopher Durham. My wife Lorraine and I are the downsized. Together, we've lost more than 150 pounds using GLP-1 medications. I've personally used Zepbound, Mounjaro, and Tirzepatide. And today, I want to talk about something that a lot of people are not saying out loud. Here's the dirty secret. I lost over 100 pounds on a GLP-1s, and it was easier than anything I have ever tried before. Not effortless, not magic, but finally possible. And no, I'm not going to apologize for that. I wasn't lazy before, and I'm not cheating now. I'm finally treating a real disease with real medicine. I wasn't a bad person before, and I'm not somehow better now just because I'm thinner. Before we go any further, let me be clear. I am not a doctor. I'm just someone who struggled with my weight for decades. For most of my adult life, my weight bounced up and down, always trending higher, until I got dangerously close to 300 pounds. My blood pressure was through the roof. My cholesterol was high. I'd been on meds for decades. I wasn't sleeping well. I probably had undiagnosed sleep apnea. My knees hurt constantly. And I needed something to change, something that actually worked. GLP-1s changed my life. And I want to be honest about how and why. If you're new to our channel, this is what we do. We talk about GLP-1s, about obesity as a real disease, and about the messy real-life process of losing weight and keeping it off, of being healthier and happier than you ever have before. If that sounds like something that you need right now, hit like and subscribe. We'd love to have you here. Let me tell you the part no one told me. Losing the weight wasn't that hard. I know you're not supposed to say that, but it's true. Before GLP-1s, weight loss felt like I was holding my breath underwater. I'd lose 20 pounds here, 10 pounds there, until I couldn't hold on anymore, and then the weight would come rushing back. It was exhausting. GLP-1s changed that. For the first time in my life, I could breathe. I wasn't starving. I wasn't constantly thinking about food. I didn't feel like I was fighting myself every single day. That was the difference. It wasn't about willpower. It wasn't about discipline. It was about finally having a tool that worked with my biology instead of against it. And that brings me to something we all need to say louder. Obesity is a disease. It's not a character flaw. It's not a lack of motivation. It's a chronic, progressive disease. That's what the American Medical Association said in 2013. It involves brain chemistry, hormones, genetics, metabolism. It's not solved by just eating less and moving more. GLP-1s are not a diet. They're not a cheat code. They're medical treatment for a medical condition, like insulin for diabetes, like inhalers for asthma. And no, they're not a cure. If I stop taking them, the underlying disease does not magically disappear, and the weight doesn't magically stay off. There's no guarantee on any of these. We do not have to suffer to deserve care. We don't need to prove how hard we've worked to be allowed to feel better. This is not cheating, no matter what anybody says. This is the medical treatment for a disease. That belief that we must earn our health through suffering is one of the most damaging lies we've ever been told. And I'm done with it. But just because this was easier doesn't mean I didn't mess up. I made a lot of mistakes on the way to losing 100 pounds, and some of them surprised me. The first, I didn't stay close enough to my local doctor. As the weight came off, my blood pressure improved dramatically. But I was still on the same dose of medication I had needed at my highest weight. One day while helping my daughter move out of her college dorm, I nearly passed out. My blood pressure had dropped too low. Turns out when you lose weight, it's good for your blood pressure. GLP-1s do more than help you lose weight, though. They change your health, sometimes in ways you do not expect. I should have checked in with my doctor more often as those changes were happening. Number two, I stopped eating enough. When the appetite suppression hit, it hit hard. I took it too far. I wasn't hungry, honestly, so I barely ate. But soon I was dizzy, tired, and honestly a little bit cranky. That was my body telling me you still need to eat. You still need nutrition. You still need fuel. I had to relearn how to eat smaller portions, sure, but with real nutrition. I focused on protein, hydration, and whole foods, whole fresh foods, real foods that actually nourished body. It wasn't easy. Some days I had to make myself eat. But when I started fueling my body the right way, everything shifted. Turns out we only get a few bites on these medications, particularly early on, so make them count, make them taste great, make them nutritious. And as I did that, my energy came back, my mood improved. Honestly, everything got better. I felt healthier. I felt like I was making real lasting progress. And it was sustainable, something that Lorraine and I could do for the rest of our lives. And the best part, eating better didn't slow down the weight loss. It actually helped. Number 3, I expected the scale to always go down. It's what we want, right? But here's the thing, it doesn't. Some weeks I lost 2 pounds. Some weeks I gained 1. Some weeks nothing changed at all. But that didn't mean the medication stopped working. The average weight loss on a GLP-1 is between 0.5 and 2 pounds per week. Now, I know that sounds slow, but you know what? We didn't gain all this weight overnight. That's 26 to 104 pounds in a year. That's a lot of weight. Think about that for a second. If a year from now you were 30 pounds down, 100 pounds down, your life would be different. But averages do not follow a perfect line. Real life is not linear. Some weeks are up, some weeks are down, some are just flat. By my estimation, every day I'm down, every week I'm down is a good week. Celebrate that, move on, and take the next day. And I had to stop obsessing over the scale, stop waking up every morning and looking at it. What mattered was the bigger picture. Was I feeling better? Was I sleeping better? Was my body changing even when the weight number was not? The next point, progress isn't always loud, but it's happening. You just have to stay consistent. Trust it. You just have to take your shot. The next thing I didn't expect was the emotional side of all of this. Everyone talks about the physical changes, the smaller clothes, the compliments, the scale victories, but no one talks about the emotional roller coaster. Seeing your body change brings up all kinds of feelings: grief, joy, fear, guilt, surprise, shock, awe, you name it, it's all there. Sometimes I felt proud and strong. Other times, I felt like I was saying goodbye to a version of myself I'd lived with for years, even if that version was hurting me. I missed old comforts. I felt like an imposter in a smaller body. I grieved the time I lost, the things I didn't do because of my weight. There was joy too, so much joy. Moments of lightness, moments where I didn't criticize my reflection, moments where I slept better. You know that crazy thing where you roll over and the weight doesn't cause a problem? Moments where I felt free. I started to believe I deserved this change, that I could take up space just in a different way. GLP-1s helped me lose the weight, but the healing had to happen on the inside too. But of course, for me, the biggest shift was food freedom. Food was never the enemy. If anything, it defined me. Cooking, eating, watching the Food Network, planning the next restaurant. Food was not a problem. It was my passion, my personality, my comfort. It was everything, and I thought that was totally normal. I had no idea how much my brain was consumed by food. I didn't even know food noise was a thing until it got quiet. Until it stopped. Until one day I walked downstairs and Lorraine said, "What's for dinner?" And I said, "I haven't thought about it." And it was the truth. It had not occurred to me throughout the entire day what we would be eating for dinner. The freedom, the agency is overwhelming, and it's something that I still contend with every day with these medications, because it's how do I redefine who I am and what I'm becoming as a better me. That's what GLP-1s did. They didn't take away my love of food. They just turned down the constant static. For the first time, I had space to pause, to breathe, to ask, what do I actually want to eat? Or better yet, what do I want to do beyond food? How do I want to feel afterwards? I wasn't chasing cravings. I wasn't planning lunch while I was still eating breakfast. And I wasn't fighting to store energy like I was prepping for nuclear winter. I could just choose. And that changed everything. So what comes next? Now that I've reached my goal weight, the scale isn't the focus. So what comes next? Well, turns out I started at 286.4 pounds. Today I'm at 183 pounds, so a little more than 100 pounds down, and I've reached my goal weight. The scale isn't the focus anymore. This part of the adventure is about living a healthy life. It's about staying connected to my body, to my family, to my wife. It's about not fighting against my body. Maintenance isn't the end. It's not a finish line. It's not a new chapter. It's a different kind of work. And I'm figuring it out one day, one choice, one meal at a time. Here's what I've learned about maintenance. It's different for everyone. There's no magic dose, no perfect plan, no universal strategy that works for all of us. We each bring different genetics, health histories, habits, and hang-ups to this, so our maintenance journeys will be different too. Now, here's the secret though. It's not hard. It's something that's possible to maintain a healthy weight. Something that was unimaginable. It was like winning the lottery if you had asked me 2 years ago. But today, it's easy. Does it take work? Absolutely, it takes work. Is it cheating? No way. Don't let anybody ever tell you we're cheating. That's not what we're doing. We're treating our disease with medicine. And you deserve it. I deserve it. We deserve it. What works for me might not work for you, and that's okay. For me, it means learning how to live in this new body without micromanaging every bite, without food being the main event of my day, and without behaving like I need to stockpile calories. It means making peace with my hunger cues, honoring my needs, and staying curious rather than controlled. The key is giving yourself permission to figure it out on your own terms. And here's what I know absolutely for sure. You cannot outsuffer obesity. You do not have to earn these medications. You do not have to justify them to anyone. These are treating your disease. You can't hate yourself into health. You deserve care. You deserve treatment, and you do not need justified to anybody. If this resonated with you, drop a comment and share your story. What was the biggest myth you had unlearned? Or just say hi. Let me know how you are. Let me know how it's going. You're not alone. Lorraine and I are here with you. We're doing this together. I'm Christopher Durham, and we are The Downsized.